Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. So yesterday I did this thing called a blab for an event that I'm speaking at. I'm the keynote speaker at an event in Virginia Beach in May called the Modern Femme Movement. And it's a weekend long retreat for women in Virginia Beach. Did I say that already? I'm tired. So anyway, I'm very excited. First of all, I've never been to Virginia Beach. Second of all, the women that have put this whole thing together are amazing. So I'm super excited. But on this blab, I think I have Olivia's cold. Awesome. On this blab, we were talking about women. And one of the things that the moderator of the conversation said was, it's interesting because I've met so many of the speakers who are speaking at the Modern Femme Movement, and they are all so alike in their way and different in their conversation topics and their speech topics, different in what they do for a living. But she said they were all so alike in their warmth. And I started laughing and I said, that is so interesting to me what you just said, because there really are two types of women, those who like other women and those who don't. And that is it. And I've been both. So I know. It's not to say that women who don't like other women can't have moments of good in them, because even when I was at my worst, I still had friends that I genuinely loved, although I would edge them out if I felt threatened by them in any way, but I always surrounded myself with people I didn't feel threatened by. But I had moments of good. I would say 85% of the time I was not good. And it's not to say that women who do genuinely like other women and root for other women, it's not to say that they never have moments where they get angry or they lash out, because we all have our breaking point. But there are only two types of women, those who like women and those who don't. So we were talking about this, and they asked me, well, they said, we think it obviously would be much easier to live your life as a woman who liked other women. And I laughed, because one would think that. But it is incredibly, it is such a vulnerable place to be the woman who is like, I am going to give my life over. I want to be different. I want to hold hands with friends and mean it. I want to put my arms around a woman that I look in the face and tell her I love her and mean it wholeheartedly. I want to be the woman who makes new friends and doesn't fear that they're going to try to do better than me or be whatever. It is so vulnerable. The other way, you're hurting yourself every day, but there is very little opportunity for other women to hurt you, because you're always hurting them before they can hurt you. So it feels much safer. Again, you're hurting yourself every day, because it is an incredibly lonely existence to constantly be looking around, believing everyone's talking about you, everyone's out to get you, nobody really likes you. That is an incredibly lonely existence. So you walk in faking all this confidence. You're giving all of this bullshit is basically what it is. So when you see these women who show up at school and they're giving all of this intimidation, right? They're mom shaming, they're whatever. They show up at the football field, the soccer field, carpool, wherever they are. And they've got this grandioso attitude, like their shit doesn't stink. I am telling you, they are hurting themselves every day. They live in a world where they feel like they've got to talk about you before you talk about them. They've got to like outbitch you before you can outbitch them. It's all, they're coming for you before you come for them. And I was that girl, so I know exactly what they're doing. And if you call them out on it, they've got a denial. Honey, call them Cleopatra, queen of denial. They've got, no, that's not why. I just don't like you. No, that is not the truth. They don't like themselves, and they don't like women. And at the end of the day, they just don't like women because they don't like themselves. How can you like your own kind if you don't like yourself? I didn't like myself, and I was 20 pounds skinnier. I probably looked like a pogo stick. Okay, this is real. I was 21, right? 22. My hair was down to my butt. I had friends, I had boyfriends, I was speaking 17 different languages, I was traveling around the world. Didn't matter. I didn't like myself at all. So I didn't like women. So when you encounter these women, there is nothing you can do. There's nothing you could have done differently. When you are with them and they're making you feel uncomfortable and you feel shamed or bullied or whatever they're trying to do to you, they don't like themselves. So there is nothing you can do but avoid them. Surround yourself with women who like other women, who root for other women, who vouch for other women, who uplift other women. And you will soon see that they pair off, right? Women who don't like other women, who can't manage relationships with other women. Have you ever seen a woman who just can't get along with any women? And the problem is always everybody else. They've got an excuse book the size of the encyclopedia. Now, you youngins don't know what an encyclopedia is, but it's a very thick book. Okay? So they surround themselves with other women who are sort of the feminine outcasts and can't really get along with women because their behavior is putrid, right? So they pair off. They become friends. Sometimes they start running together. So anyway, I was thinking about all of this and I thought, they said, is it really easier to be the other way? And I said, well, it's easier, but it's not nearly as fulfilling. Because had I not made the change, had I not put everything I had into, I am going to give 98% of women the benefit of the doubt. There are still 2% of women that I get near and I try, and then I'm like, my radar goes off and I'm like, ugh, you don't like women. I can feel it. You're pretending that you do, but you really don't. And somehow and I push them away, because you can usually spot the bullshit if you keep your eyes open, right? So I would say 98% of women I give a real fair shake to. When I think about who I used to be and what I would be missing if I didn't try with women, I think about Danielle. And I would never know that kind of love. I think about Adrian, and I would never know that kind of security. I think about Scarlett, and I would never know that kind of like kindred family spirit. I think about Leanne, and I just think about how much I would be missing without these women in my life. And there is no way that these good, godly women who genuinely love other women would have ever allowed me into their life or into their circle or into their world if I was still the other way. The problem was not with anyone else. It was with me. I was a bully and a bitch and a crap. I didn't like other women because I didn't like myself. That's the end of it. There are still days where I don't love myself too much. I always love myself, but there are things I'm like, ugh. But I never let it get bigger than my mission. I never let the self-doubt get bigger than my calling. I never allow it to take me backward. There are some days I still want to choke people out, but I don't. I don't. All right, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm married to an Irishman. So we'll probably go somewhere tonight and, he gave up alcohol for Lent. Can't even drink. All right. I love you guys so much today. Have a great day.